G'day everybody, hope you had a fantastic week in the markets. I'm going to go through and have a look at some of the news events of the week once again, and also look at how it has affected any of the charts out there. Of course, it has been a relatively quiet week this week in our markets, given that we haven't seen all that much go on. And I'll just show it to you right now quickly on Bitcoin. As you can see, we have seen it move down, move up, move down, move back up again. The key level still for me and most crypto traders around the world will be to break up through $45,236 as shown here on the FTX chart. We are looking okay at the moment. I'd love to see a really big bullish candle to finish the Friday here in Australia and go into the weekend with some very solid positivity. On the weekly chart, you can see here there is a bullish candle forming off of this old level of support, old level of resistance that has acted as somewhat support, which can be seen a lot clearer there on that daily chart. I've talked about that level quite some time, going back quite some way. And although we haven't got a close just yet, it's a fine looking candle right there on the Bitcoin chart. So let's go across and have a look at some of these news announcements that have come out this week. Of course, recently we do know that we have seen El Salvador adopt Bitcoin as its currency. This, as this article says, it's up here on cryptoslate.com. It's really, I suppose, obviously when Bitcoin came out, that was its biggest day. We've seen a lot of FUD. We've seen a lot of good stuff. We've seen a lot of bad stuff. We've seen a lot of misconceptions. And now we've seen a lot of adoption by major institutions. However, this is a line in the sand. The first country in the world to adopt Bitcoin as its currency for its people. And I'm sure you've probably seen, if you're on Twitter or anywhere else around the social media space and you follow enough crypto places, that the US dollar continues, due to inflation, to rob people. And it happens slowly and people don't notice it. But I saw one, I think today, that was like, 80 years or whatever it is, where $100 is now lost about 91.4% of its value. This, of course, leans people towards Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and digital assets alike, but this is a big one. This is giving the people of El Salvador Bitcoin to use and a reason to do so. Now, I've had conversations with people about this, whether or not it will be good or bad, given the fluctuation and extreme volatility that we do see in our space. But if they price things in Bitcoin and not in dollar values, then it shouldn't be too much of a concern, because the old saying goes, one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. So there you go. That's my take on it. The article goes forward to quote a couple of things here. Now, this is what's really, I think, a very important comment in this. This is just exercising our sovereign right to adopt legal tenders, the president explained. The president. Like we adopted the US dollar in the year 2001, what's the difference? The only difference probably is the reason why we're doing this. In 2001, it was probably done for the benefit of banks, and this decision is done for the benefit of the people. And that is Satoshi's vision. That is why Bitcoin is here. Power to the people and taking away that power from the banks, which of course was the creation of Bitcoin after the global financial crisis of 2008. Sure, that person, whoever Satoshi is very happy right now. With Bitcoin now designated legal tender, there is suddenly a quick and cheap alternative to dispatching money to family and friends unable to access bank accounts or credit cards. According to the president, Bitcoin could save citizens $400 million a year in remittance fees, around $60 per head. And that's an area I think that, if you think about the labor force countries where they travel for work to send money back for their families, the remittance of that is quite expensive. I, for one, have had to deal with that when I first went to London. I went there and you couldn't get a bank account without an address, and you couldn't get an address without a bank account. Crypto would have been an absolutely perfect solution for me, not so much to get the address, but to make sure that I didn't have to pay the ridiculous rates, not to send it to Australia, but to convert my check into actual currency that I could use. It was horrendous, and they prey on the poor more than the wealthy. And I think I know Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies provide that. I think as more countries come on board or get more interested in it, such as down here, Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, Cuba, these sorts of places, I think we will see more countries adopt Bitcoin as their tender. On now to Cardano, and we know that Cardano has had an absolutely stellar 2021. While other markets have moved quite well, Cardano really has been explosive and pushed itself up well into the top 10. It's been holding there for a long time, and it is one of the larger of the market caps of our market. Well, this week, of course, we have seen the partnership, I suppose, it says partnership, with Link. And look, it's just there's nothing in specific here that I see as being cataclysmic or to the massive benefit of Cardano holders or Link holders for that matter. But what it does do is it does form a relationship between the two of them. Perhaps Link can catch some of that magic dust that Cardano has been receiving from the market over the last little while. Now, of course, Cardano, as I say, it's been having a fantastic run of late. It has pulled back. When I say of late, I mean the last few months. It's pulled back quite significantly, and I'll show it to you right now on the charts. If I just jump across here to my top 10, and I'll just show you that rise of Cardano this year. If I jump to the weekly, it becomes much easier to see. I can remember buying Cardano around 8 cents. It's now at $2.11. Of course, it has peaked above $3 this year and has had quite the sharp pullback throughout the last few weeks, with the rest of the market having a sharp pullback as well. 40%, it's pretty typical in a strong market that we do get 40% retracements. We are in the cradle zone around $2 and rejecting $2. Okay, the news that came out did not cause Cardano to do anything too radical. We did see a big move up. We've seen a pullback now, and what I want to see is a break above this high here. That high is $2.46 to recommence an uptrend. If we get that, Cardano looks very bullish running into the end of the year. In other news, we have FTX. This has been reported earlier in the week, of course, getting their license in the Bahamas, which is a very good option for them. And one of the things that Sam has said about the reasoning behind FTX moving itself over to Bermuda is this. The Bahamas is one of the few places to set up a comprehensive framework for crypto. The country has emerged from COVID lively, safe, and without quarantine. Now, the interesting thing here is, and first of all, I am a holder of FTT, all right? I hold that token. Big storm coming. I hold that token because I do see what they have done, and I see them being more power to the people once again from a trading perspective, whether it be with futures or spot markets. They continue to provide us with more options, good liquidity options, as well as good charts and order systems. And for that, I thank them because it has made my job as a trader who came into this space in 2017. That was the hardest thing for me. It was trying to find a platform that could give me the order flow systems that I needed to trade correctly, to be able to manage my risk quickly, easily, and efficiently, to be able to put multiple orders on one click of a button. Because this has been done and has been neglected by Binance, I can see FTX continuing its rise. It's had a very fast rise, and I believe that if they continue on the path that they are going on, we will continue to see more of that. Now, the other thing to consider as well is, as there's all these regulations around the world, people freaking out, countries freaking out, we are starting to see where the shift may end up going as China starts to shut its doors to anything cryptocurrency related for the 754th time. We see options in Bermuda, and the very fact that FTX has decided to move into that jurisdiction and get the licensing requirements will probably lead the way to more companies also jumping on that bandwagon. Now, something else that's been going on this year in a very, very big way is the NFT market, non-fungible tokens. Now, I believe my first interview on non-fungible tokens was either early 2019 or late 2018. At the time, I didn't know much about them. At this time, I don't know much about them. And one of the things I want to point out is this. There is a lot of hype cycle going around in crypto, and it is cyclical. It happens again and again and again and again and again. Often a boom is followed by an extraordinary bust, as we saw in the ICO boom of 2017, and of course, as we see continually, where markets pump and then they dump. Now, I don't think non-fungible tokens are going anywhere. As far as their price goes and holding their value, that is remaining to be seen. Now, the point I want to make here about NFTs is that if you're in the market and you're looking at this going, well, how do I do this? What should I learn? How do I do it? By all means, go and learn to do that. But you don't need to do everything. I quite clearly and quite happily stand by the fact that I don't know a great deal about this market. I don't know where to trade. This ocean thing? Where was that? There was something in here. Ocean something or other. Oh, here it is. OpenSea, sorry. OpenSea, there you go. That's how little I know. OpenSea had more than $3.4 billion in volume in August alone. That is huge. Okay, that is humongous volume coming through into a relatively new space. You've got people like Gary Vee talking about it. You've got all the big social influence type people, you know, the Logan Pauls and all those sorts of people that people seem to, they're the biggest celebrities in the world these days, right? And it continues to be pushed and it continues to go out, and I continue to not be interested in it, not because I'm a snob. No, because I've found the areas in the market for which I know how to play. I know how to make money in, and that's okay because I don't need to be across everything, and neither do you. So what's that done to the market? Well, not a great deal. And what do I see for the market going into the weekend? Well, that will very exclusively depend on where we close at the end of today. If we can see a good push through on today, then I think we will potentially see some very strong runs going through October. And speaking of October, of course, it tends to be a good month for the market. So guys, if it is trading that you would like to learn, please visit tradercobb.com, turn on your likes, give me a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and you have yourself a damn good weekend. Thank you very much for your time today. Bye for now.